I'm going to bring up next a man who, if you don't know him, you will know him soon. That's how incredibly successful I think he is going to be. Lance was doing storytelling when I didn't even know what storytelling was. So he's been in the trenches a long damn time and honing his incredible style. Go to his blog, Verge of the Fringe, Edge of the Frame. Amazing man, amazing stories. It makes you want to jump up and say, I want to be a storyteller. Mr. Lance Anderson. Woo!
All right. Robertson Theater, sponsored by the House of Blues. Can I say it's performed at the House of Blues? Not exactly, right? About a week ago, I became friends with Penn Jillette. You know Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller? Well, kind of not really friends, you know, not MySpace friends or Facebook friends, a Twitter friend. You know what Twitter is? Twitter's this crazy thing. We do this funny little, what they call micro-blogging. It's where you put up little things about your life in 140 characters or less. And right now I'm following Penn Jillette. And it's very interesting. He's a very interesting guy. He in the Twitters he's done so far, he's talked about taking his kids to soccer practice. He's talked about having a metaphysical discussion with the singer Sam Harris, and various other things. Now Penn Jillette, I think for me especially, the first time I ever got introduced to him was way back on the David Letterman show years ago on NBC. He'd come on. You know, Penn and Teller come on, do weird things. They'd leave roaches on Dave's desk and various things. And for the longest time, before I had actually ever seen Penn Jillette, I would have thought that the word to use for him would be sadistic. Like, he always seemed like he was torturing the other guy. You know what I mean? I thought of him as a sadistic person. But then about 10 years ago, I was actually on Beverly Boulevard. At the Insomnia, which is kind of near La Brea, little coffee house, and I was doing a little writing, and sure enough, there was Penn Jillette with another guy sitting at another table outside, and he was just sitting there talking with his friend, and I was just, I noticed who he was. He had the more wacky hair back then that he had, very distinctive wacky hair, and I was sitting there, and I was just kind of observing them a little bit, doing a little writing. And a guy that was obviously sightless was walking up to the coffee house, and he was using his cane, and he was trying to navigate his way into the coffee house. Now, at the time, it was kind of like maybe 6 o'clock. They still had the umbrellas outside, and the umbrellas were hanging kind of low. And Penn Jillette could see that this sightless man was going to have a clear path into the coffee house, but in fact, he was going to hit his head on these low-hanging umbrellas. And just like smooth as a magician or a cat, he just got up and just very casually just moved these umbrellas out of the way, clearing a space while he was talking to his friend. He wasn't doing it for me. He wasn't making a production number out of it. He was doing it as a simple act of kindness. And I never forgot that about him. And I realized that Penn Jillette isn't sadistic. That's not the word to think of it. He's actually a good guy. Thanks.
Lance Anderson.